All right, so I'm going to actually show you how we created this graph here on this function right here, and this is an example how to do this video. Let me clear all this stuff here. Okay, let's say I want to graph this line f of x equals to 2/3 x minus 1. So I'm going to do this all with my pencil. Okay, and I'm going to do this in red. And my size is small, so let's do this. There's there x, and this will be f of x. All right, I'm going to use the point 0, and then I'm going to use the point 3. That's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to do my work over here. Okay, so if I let x be 0, then 2/3 times 0 minus 1 is going to be 0 minus 1, which is equal to -1. So that tells me I got that point right there. That's for f of x. Then let's do the other. What if x is 3? Then I got 2/3. It's going to be a 2 times 3, all right, minus 1. 2/3 times 3, that cancels out, and I end up with just 2 minus 1, and that is equal to 1. Sorry, 1. So that gives me another point. So those are my 2 points for f of x. Okay, so let me get rid of all this. Now I'm going to graph inverse. So I'm going to take the pencil blue, and I'm just going to draw. I'm just going to take x and f inverse of x. And how do you get the inverse to? You flip. Okay, you flip. So instead of 0, -1. I'm going to let x be -1, f of x be 0. Instead of 3, 1, I'm going to let f of x. I'm going to let x be 1 and x inverse of x be 3. So I'm going to graph these two in red and graph these two in blue. So in red, let's go 0, -1. 0, -1 is right here. 3, 1 is 3, 1 right there. So since these are linear equations, I'm only going to graph, I'm just going to use those 2 points because it's a linear equation. So I'm just going to connect these. Oh, wrong color. Let's see if this has an undo. And let's put this in the right color. All right, so and that's good. And I'm going to extend this line, making sure that my points stay connected. Okay, let's see. All right, and let's see. Now let's do the inverse. So the inverse, my inverse points are -1, 0, which is there. Sorry, I need that to be blue. And then I need 1, 3. So 1 and up 3. All right. So now I'm going to see if I can draw a blue line here. And I'm going to, let's see, connect. Let's see, look at that. I see that one point is 3 up and 2 over, 3 up and 2 over. So I just want mine to look pretty good. So yeah, that's not bad. And that's so this is inverse of f. Use my pencil here. So this is f inverse in blue. And in red, I have f. So that's how you would do that's how you would do this slide and the next slide. This slide, look for your function down here, your red function, figure out what its inverse is. I recommend that you use at least 3 points on all of these, 3 points on this one, okay? Because you're recreating this slide. So, for example, for this one, I'm just giving you a hint of what the answer is going to look like when you're done. X squared minus 3 is actually the parent function being graphed down by 3. So I'm using my transformation so I can do this fast. So I know that it's going to be in red. A function is going to look like, going to start there. And let's see, and it should go to 1, -2, 1. Let's see, 1, -2 is right there. Let's see, I want there, and then that's going right there. So I'm just attempting to graph. Let's see. Yeah, it should be something like this. This is just a rough sketch. Okay. So, and then if I'm going to graph the inverse of that, I know that this point, which is 0, -3, is going to turn to -3, 0, which is right here. And it's going to be a point here and a point there. And then you should end up looking something like that. Okay. So that's just a rough sketch. Yours might look a little better. Okay. All right. So on this one, graph this function. You can do this in Desmos if you want. Take this f of x equals that x minus 6 over 2. You can go to Desmos if you want. And you can graph it just like it is. Let's see, I'm going to go f of x, equals to, let's see, I need x minus 6, I need a fraction here. So I need a fraction, didn't want to do that. Let's see, I want a fraction bar here. Let me see if I can just do that. Yeah, I just pressed a division bar to get the fraction. So now I got x minus 6 over 2. So there's a graph there. I can pick some points here, like -3, 0, -3. And I can just use my pointer. Then I can also use, it looks like, well, 2, -2. I can flop those and get the inverse. But all they want me to do is to see which one of these, let me go back to, where am I? Okay. They will say which one of these is going, what the inverse is going to look like. If I look at, I know that my graph goes to, I'm giving you the shortcut here. I know that my graph, if I go to Desmos, goes through the point 0, -3. I do know that. So I'm just going to look and see which of these goes through the point 0, -3. This is the original graph. Oh no, not 0, -3, but -3, 0. Which one of these goes through -3, 0? And I got 2 of them that go through -3, 0. I got this one and I got this one. So I know the answer is not going to be A, it's not going to be 3. Again, why do I know that? I know that because when I look at my graph, I see that it goes to 0, -3. So the inverse is going to go to -3, 0, which is right here. It's going to go through that. Now, and so let's find another point that's going to be on the inverse. Another point that I can see is, if I use my bullseyes, is 2, -2. So my inverse is going to go through -2, 2. So which one of these? So let me see what that looks like. So it needs to go through -2, 2, -2, 2, which is up here somewhere. If I zoom in, right, there's a way to actually get Desmos to plot that. My inverse is going to go through -2, 2. See where that is? And I've already said that it's going to go through -3, 0. So my inverse is going to look like this. It's going to go through these 2 points like that. So which one of those graphs looks like that? Let's compare. Let's compare. And it looks like, so that should tell you that D should be the correct answer there. Okay? So let's see. And here is just more where you just pick the point, graph is inverse, and collect it and connect it. So you can do this all in pencil. Like for instance, this point is negative. It looks like it's negative 4, 0. So I'm going to graph 0, negative 4. Where is 0, negative 4? 0, negative 4 is down here. Then I'm going to graph this point. This is negative 2, 2. So I'm going to switch those and graph 2, negative 2, which is right here. And then I'm going to graph, this is point negative 2, 0. So I'm going to flip that to 0, negative, sorry, this is 0, negative 2. So I'm going to flip that to negative 2, 0. There. All right. Let's see. And I got one more point to check here. This point here is 3, negative 3. So I need to graph negative 3, 3, which is up here. So if I connect these, I should get this. I should get this. And I got one problem. I got one problem here I need to flip. This should be negative 4, 3. So I should be graphing 3, negative 4 from my last point. 3, negative 4 is right here. So that's what my inverse looks like. Okay? So that's all I'm doing. Just graphing graph only the points that they give you and then see if you can flip it. You might have to pick out an additional point. And that's pretty much it. So I hope this video helped you a little bit.